Microsoft Advertising.
The download.
Purpose has taken on a new meaning this year.
While it's good to talk about driving a brand strategy with purpose,
The question is,
where do you start?
we'll show you how one agency builds an inclusive marketing best practice you could easily replicate. So you want to get more bang for your buck?
We'll tell you how with the Microsoft Advertising Audience Network.
She's weird.
He's a rebel.
So emotional.
Sound like negative personality traits?
Actually, these are qualities of a rare breed, which is also the title of a great book, and we'll talk to its authors.
It's all coming up on the Microsoft Advertising Download.
Can you believe it's been more than a year since the beginning of lockdown? Whew. But things are beginning to look more hopeful. The last year has forced companies in every industry to innovate to meet new consumer demands. And all this digital transformation, while disruptive, has created tremendous opportunity. And it's even true in the more traditional world of financial services. And it's the topic of this month's Insights.
Let's rewind the clock to about a year ago. As we anxiously searched for information on a new word in our vocabulary, the financial markets were in a free fall. But now, as we speed forward into 2021, the proverbial light at the end of the tunnel is coming into view. And, while we still face many challenges, consumers are starting to feel hopeful in their hearts and in their wallets. As we've said before,
change is life, and with change comes opportunity.
what are some of the opportunities for the financial services industry in the months ahead? Here are 3 things. Number 1, self-directed finance. In our recent 2021 Consumer Trends report, 49% of survey respondents said they want to improve their financial literacy and exercise more control over their investments. The days of consumers sitting back and letting others control their money while charging hefty fees are coming to an end. A host of startups have emerged to capitalize on this trend. These companies are making it easier for consumers to make a budget, invest and buy stocks, as well as get loans and credit cards. Number 2, alternative payment methods. This is any form of payment that isn't cash or a major bank credit card. Things like e-wallets, mobile payments, even buy now, pay later options. Millennials now command $1.4 trillion in annual spending and are the fuel in the current e-commerce explosion. And this cohort demands more flexibility when it comes to how they pay at checkout. In a recent study, over 2/3 of online shoppers said they will abandon their carts due to a poor payment process. And number 3, sustainable purchases. With the alarm of climate change ringing louder, consumers now want sustainable options in nearly every purchase consideration and are willing to pay more for them. In a recent study by the Yale School of the Environment, 31% of consumers said they have rewarded eco-conscious companies by purchasing their products in the last year, while 21% have said they have punished companies for opposing climate action by avoiding their products. Transformed by the pandemic, it's clear that the way people save, spend, and manage their money is changing. Financial service brands that stand up and help them do this with ease and convenience will make their businesses future-proof. And with more than 90 million millennials moving into their prime spending years, that future is coming fast.
Our Inclusive Marketing Lab today is about to drop one powerful way it can look at your organization when you have an insatiable drive for inclusive marketing and putting it into practice because you know it drives growth. And it's important to strive to get it right and cover all the bases. Laura, Rich, welcome. Now, I invited you both on the show because I found out that you developed an inclusive marketing checklist for campaigns for your entire agency, which to me is an indicator that you're really serious about executing inclusive marketing. So Laura, can you tell us, when did the light bulb go off for you and Merkle that you needed to prioritize inclusive marketing?
Well, we've been doing DEI internally for a good few years now, and we have a really robust, structured program. But it was actually a couple of years ago you came into our office to talk to us about what Microsoft had been doing in the inclusive marketing space. And it was literally like a light had been switched on. We needed to translate this amazing work that we've been doing internally into work with our clients and weaving it into the work that we were doing with our clients. So we've spent the last couple of years educating our teams and building our knowledge and capability in this space. And that's what's brought us to this point with the creation and the launch of the Inclusive Marketing Checklist.
What has the Inclusive Marketing Checklist done for your teams internally?
I think the biggest thing that it has done is given our teams confidence to own these conversations with clients. They've wanted to broaden the conversations that they're having with their clients for a long time, but this tool has given them the knowledge and also the power to influence decision making within their client relationships.
Rich, you are the winner of the Microsoft Advertising Trailblazer Award for all of Europe this year, so congratulations. And you are really the one behind the actual creation of the Inclusive Marketing Campaign Checklist.
One of the key motivators for creating the checklist was actually Microsoft's inclusive marketing training. What it's really done is it left us wanting more. It left us with a lot of questions around how we as an agency can embed those inclusive marketing practices into our daily work. So we came up with the checklist, and it's focused around 5 key areas, including audience, ad formats, attribution, automation, and budget allocation. And the checklist really provides our account associates with questions and additional context and also resources to explore.
Is there one thing in that checklist that you could share that the audience could do starting today?
Oh, well, if we take audience, for example, we ask and encourage all of our teams to review campaign block lists, because we know that overzealous use of negative keywords can actually penalize minority publishers and prevent your ads from actually appearing to a more diverse population.
What are some examples of brands that you would say are getting it more right that we all can learn from?
Well, a brand that I really admire is a UK supermarket called Sainsbury's. So they ran a series of Christmas TV ads, one of which featured a black family. And sadly and disappointingly, there was a huge racist backlash against the advert. People said that they didn't feel that it represented them or the UK, and there were even calls to boycott Sainsbury's. And Sainsbury's didn't bow to that pressure. They defended the ad. They said that they wanted to be representative of a modern Britain, that they were an inclusive supermarket. And not only that, the best bit of it for me was that all other UK supermarkets actually joined forces in order to stand in solidarity with Sainsbury's. So they took over 2 primetime slots and ran back-to-back ads for each supermarket, one after the other, with the hashtag Stand Against Racism. And so as one, they basically said, if you don't want to shop at Sainsbury's because there's a black family in their ad, then don't shop here either.
The other day I saw a commercial by a British utility company which was so representative of me that I was almost lost for words. And it does make you feel valued, it makes you feel seen, and as a consumer it makes you feel more connected to the brand and to the message. So, you know, my interest in inclusive marketing is really my own lived experience, and I feel quite fortunate that I work for an agency, a progressive agency that is so committed to inclusive marketing.
So there you have it. Inclusive marketing can be one checklist away and designed to be built into your current marketing rather than a separate bolt-on campaign. It can help you define, design, and deliver more inclusive and impactful campaigns.
We are delighted to invite you to this year's Microsoft Advertising Elevate. Join us on April 21st and 22nd as we share how to fuel growth through digital acceleration, connect with audiences in a privacy-first world, and drive innovation and business impact through marketing with purpose. We'll provide a look ahead with our product roadmap, powered by actionable insights. In addition, we'll announce and share the inspiring stories of our 6 Global Partner Award winners. This is an opportunity to come together as industry partners, renew our strategy, and shape a new future together.
Hey everybody, spring has sprung, and that means it's officially gardening season. Time to work the soil, plant the seeds, and grow your business with the Microsoft Audience Network. And you know what? I'm here to show you how. Let's dig in. Let's start with the garden. Microsoft Audience Network is programmatic native advertising, serving high-quality placements on brand-safe properties with unique access to Microsoft users. You can cultivate potential customers in the garden that produces throughout the decision journey. Ads on the Microsoft Audience Network drive great downstream results too. 147% lift in awareness, 306% lift in consideration, and 236% lift in purchase. Gardeners need the right tools for the job. Tillers, spades, a giant hat. And speaking of tools, start with the Audience Network Planner. Use it before creating your audience ads campaign. Just plug in your targeting, bid, and budget criteria to see potential audience size, impressions, and clicks. And when talking tools, there's a lot to be said about ease of use. Break ground with Google Import for audience campaigns to quickly set up and launch your Microsoft Audience Network campaigns. Now we can sow the seeds of campaign growth through audience targeting. Target potential customers who are ready to buy for important life moments with seasonal and market segments like Mother's Day and back to school. Get extra mileage from your website data with remarketing and put your first-party data to good use with custom audiences and customer match. Make magic a dynamic remarketing. Yes, for retail, but also for automotive, entertainment events, and travel tours and activities. Mirror your account-based marketing efforts and give LinkedIn profile targeting a spin. Like any good gardener, you want the fruits of your labor to look their best. Beautiful produce is good for you, just like beautiful native ads. Fertilize your Microsoft Audience Network garden by utilizing the best imagery possible. Choose photos your audience can relate to. Pick lifestyle photos that utilize bright and inviting colors. And be sure your images don't contain logos or text. Worried that your images will fall short? We've got you covered with Shutterstock. It's as easy as search, select, and save. Okay, your garden is seeded, fertilized, and ready to grow. Only thing left to do is keep up on the weeds. Optimization. Keep tabs on how well your audience ads perform across the Microsoft Audience Network. If there's a website that performs poorly, pull that weed and exclude it from your campaign. Well, we hope you heed our sage advice and get planting with the Microsoft Audience Network. Sign up today for the Microsoft Advertising Insider newsletter. Soon you'll start raking in the rewards, and your campaigns will be outstanding in their field.
Wonderful gardening tip, John. Thank you so much. Off to the big interview now. Jeff and I had the chance to sit down with Sunny and Ashley and talk about their book, Rare Breed. Sunny, Ashley, welcome to the download. We're so excited to have you here today. You have an agency called Mojo. We have a book called Rare Breed. It's a workshop. It's a show as well. Tell us a little bit more of who you are and how did you two get started?
Well, Sunny and I actually met in a snowball fight in Chicago when we were in our teens, and we grew up together. We went to college together, and in our early 20s, we actually dropped out of college together to start Motto with $250 and a dream. And, it was a time when we had obviously no agency experience, no prior business experience. Everyone told us that we would fail, and that was more than 15 years ago. And we have since grown Motto into a branding company that has earned a reputation for pushing boundaries and breaking rules and really activating positive change inside the companies that we work with.
So a big fan of the book, called it out as one of my top 5 business books in 2019. Explain to our viewers, what is a rare breed and why do we need to understand it?
This is someone who is going to not fit the mold. This is someone who stands out against the herd. They look the status quo in the eye. They're going to punch it with brass knuckles. And they realize visions that are very outlandish to most people. And they really rebel against business as usual. They're never going to settle for the way things are. And they're going to open up those rich veins of opportunity for others. Rare breeds specifically make a lot of people uncomfortable. They make teams uncomfortable. They make companies and leaders uncomfortable because they often do and say what needs to be done and said. And we're just on a mission to help teams, organizations, leaders not only understand the rare breed, be able to identify them, but also welcome them into their organization and really hire for them because they are truly the future of creativity and innovation.
There's these 7 so-called vices that, you write about in the book. Do you want to go a little bit deeper on what those 7 vices are?
We started with a very curious question, and that was, what if you could actually take all the parts of yourself that other people criticize and turn those things into your actual superpowers. And the 7 vices are rebellious, audacious, obsessed, hot-blooded, weird, hypnotic, and emotional. We have discovered that these same attributes are also the driving force to breakthrough success.
You know, what's wrong with what our culture currently tells us is the path to success? And then specifically, do you have examples that, fall within the industry of advertising?
Yeah, I mean, I think that most of us are taught from a very early age that success is conditional, right? This is preached in thousands of leadership books. We've all read them. We all know them. We share them on Instagram. The troubling thing about those types of leadership books is that they're preaching a very dangerous message, which is there's something about you that needs to change. You have to change who you are in order to succeed. And the advertising business, I think in particular for far too many people, is still a place of invisibility and insecurity. And so we wrote Rare Breed to answer that war cry. We wanted to change this conversation. This is applicable to any business out there right now.
And that leads me to the next question as well, in terms of like, how should companies, big and small, think with a rare breed mindset?
We tend to also smother that rebellious, visionary fire that we need to make these great breakthroughs, that we need to evolve as businesses. And so embracing the rare breed mindset is really, as a business, as leaders, it helps people working inside our companies and inside our organizations so we can unleash them to really do their best work. And it is about showing up as your authentic self, but the problem that we continue to run into, the wall that we continue to face, is that we're punished when we do. Shedding light on these important topics and allowing people and giving people the grace to actually show up to work as who they are so they can go on to make the contributions that they are destined to make.
You don't always see them coming. That's the interesting thing about rare breeds, and you don't always know how to identify them. And that's why we go into great detail about what to look for, how to hire for them, what questions to ask.
Are you willing to reveal which rare breed you are? Jeff and I are willing to come on the record.
Yeah. You first.
I'm weird.
And I'm a rebel to probably no one who's watching this surprise.
I can definitely see that.
I love it. Yep, I can totally see both of them. I'm emotional.
And I'm audacious. This stuff is even went into like relationships where we've been getting people asking us like, well, how do I work with another rare breed who's not the same trait as me? And also, my partner or my mom or dad is one of these traits. How do I have better communication with them? And it gives you kind of a language tool to better understand who you're working with.
The book was such a fun read. The workshop is super helpful to bring everything to life. I think you have a YouTube series as well, so there's lots of way to connect and to understand how Rare Breed works. Ashley, Sunny, thank you so much for joining us. This was a delightful conversation, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Jeff.
And that's a wrap for episode 6. Thank you, everyone, and thank you for watching. If you want to know more, please subscribe to our newsletter. We're coming to your inbox, and we'll see you next time. We're done, right? Hey, by the way, what happened to my desk? Am I standing on it? Making use of the office.
Yeah.